Welcome back everybody. Thank you for joining me this afternoon at 3 o'clock. I know a lot of you have been waiting to see what we're going to show in this 3 o'clock show, so thank you for tuning in. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click our subscribe button. This gives you all the notifications every time I'm live, so albeit you might have watched this morning but you might not have subscribed, so make sure you subscribe, and that means our channel grows and it reaches out farther and farther to other crafters as well. So it's just a case of sharing everything we do, which is fab really. So you will have known from this morning that I launched the pens. Thank you so much if you've purchased them. I can't wait to see what you're all going to do with them. I look a little bit blue, I think. I look like I've eaten a few gooseberries there. But anyway, so thank you so much if you did tune in and you did purchase the pens. It's interesting to see really, as I put the colour families together and the bundles for people's different budgets and things like that, I always wonder to myself, you know, is any going to sell really well and is any going to not sell at all? It's always a worry. As you know, we're a family run business and we try and get everything right. We don't always get it right, but we do try. And it's been interesting to see that across the board they've all sold evenly, which is fantastic, which means I've got it right. And it also means that I've reached out to so many different people who have got different budgets, different styles. So it's an even board across the board, so thank you so much. In today's show, I've already got some stamped images, but before I go into any colouring, I just want to tell you that this morning I missed a load of things I needed to tell you. I did go back through the live feed and see a few of you had questions, so I'm just going to cover those questions before I dive in, and then I'm going to tell you some do's and don'ts to protect your pens and how to get the best results. So I'm just going to grab my trusted list, and before I go through the trusted list and I get out the do's and don'ts, here's a little bit of inspiration for you just while I get sorted. So I'm just reading through my lovely list. I made some notes to myself this morning. We've had a couple of questions, so some of the questions have been, will you be bringing more storage cases? And yes, they're already done, they're on their way. We have a box of 60, which you can house 60 if you want to, and we have boxes of 12, and they should be here in December. As soon as they do land, I'll be sending a mail shot out, and I'll also pop it on Facebook to let you all know. I did do that anyway. I just knew that a lot of the people who maybe have bought the boxes may want to house them a little bit better than a cardboard box. So yeah, they are done and they are on the way. So I hope that clarifies the storage issues. The downloadable sheets are now available, so if you have purchased them, get in ahead of time, get your sheets downloaded, get them ready, and then you're good to go. When your pens land, you can have a great play time to yourself, filling in all the boxes and writing the codes, so you're good to go for when you are ready to have a great day to yourself. With regards to all of our pens, there will be available in store, as in our shop in January, the pens as individuals. Now this morning I did say to you we didn't have any repeats, and so there's no colours that are going to repeat in any of the collections, but if you just want to buy one pen, if you come to store, there will be online as well. You can buy one pen, you don't have to have a set of 6. Say for instance the grandchildren get hold of them and do something to them, or lose them, or you lose a lid under the sofa and you know it never gets recovered. You can pop into store, there are pens as individuals on the racks, and that also applies to every single re-inker. So if you've purchased the 138 pen set, there are 138 re-inkers. They are available on our website now. However, I would say to you, you don't need to buy them, not yet anyway. Wait till you find out which are your favourite pens, and then as they start to scratch a little bit on your card, it's a suggestion that you're running out of ink, then you can replenish by there. It's just becoming an expensive do when you're buying your pens and you're buying the re-inkers. You don't need all the re-inkers, you will never use all of the pens. What you'll find is you'll repeatedly use the colours that you love, so then you can replenish with the re-inkers. All I will say to you though is, I'm saying that you don't need them all. If you are into your alcohol ink backgrounds, they are amazing. So dropping into some blending solution on your UPO paper, they are bright, they are vibrant. Obviously they're a high-end ink, so they are going to work. So they are available on the website. Also, you can buy the blender pen to erase any mistakes, push the colour back through the card. That's available as an individual on its own. I've tried to think of everything, and like I say, they are going to be on the website and available in store. So if you do come and visit us, you can obviously top up on your bits and bobs that you need for your colouring sessions. So re-inker, blender pen, single pens, your downloadable sheet. I think that's pretty much it all covered. If you've got any questions, pop it on the feed now whilst I'm live, and I'll get it relayed to me and I'll try and answer it if I can. So, a couple of things then before we start. So on my table here I have 2 very important things, and these are so important when it comes to alcohol marker colouring, okay? I have a Memento black ink pad and basically this is a dye ink, and this will not bleed when you come to colour with your alcohol markers. This is the ink pad you need, okay? If you colour with this one, you'll think there's something wrong with your pens, and there isn't. And I've stamped something out and I'm going to show you the difference. So if you do accidentally stamp out in this one, then you'll know when you see what I'm going to do next that you've used the wrong ink pad, okay? So this is the ink pad you need. These are available on the website, they're available everywhere. You've actually probably already got one in your stash. Okay, so you need a dye ink, Memento, black, grey, whatever colour you want. Okay, so that it doesn't bleed, because they are opposite inks. Okay, you also need cardstock which has a smooth, super smooth finish. And the reason it has to be super smooth is, if you use your everyday cardstock, say for instance, I'll just grab a piece. Say for instance this, excuse my messing, it's not it is smooth actually, I won't say otherwise, it is quite smooth, but it's full of chalk content. It's not as smooth as this one, it's full of chalk content, and what will happen is when you put your alcohol pen on it, it will just say woohoo and pull all the ink out of your pen and use it, and before you know it you'll be coming to the end of your barrel thinking, well, I've only coloured about 10 images, what's going on there? Chalk obviously is absorbent and it will suck all the ink out of your pen. So try and get some super smooth white cardstock. I am sourcing my own at the moment. I haven't found one I love yet, but there are some on the market. This is Nina Solar White cardstock. You can get this on Amazon, you can get it in most places. Until I find one that's of this standard or better, I'm just going to keep looking. But in the meantime, Nina Solar White cardstock, I think it's about 160 GSM. It's quite a good card is this one, and this is the one that I use all the time. So you need this card. So 2 key factors. If you're purchasing my pens, you need these 2 things, okay? Don't try and cut corners because it won't work, okay? Let's just set this aside. I'll set that one aside. Right, so before I get into actually the colouring, I just want to show you a little demo about why you should use the right ink. Just move these out of the way a little bit. So I've stamped out 2 roses here, and the V is for the VersaFine and the M is for Memento. Can we see that there? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a pen, from just grab any for now, and we will go with, I'm going to go with a light colour so you can see what happens. So this is Memento and this is made for your alcohol colouring. So I'm just going to go over the line. Can we see that there? The ink is stationary, not moving, not a bleed in sight. Perfect. Okay, this is VersaFine. Okay. Can we see the awful bleed you get from that black line? It's horrible. It looks like you've spilt water on it. I hope that's showing for you. It's not good. It gives you a sort of muddy look. See if... There we go. You can see there, it's awful. It sort of like gives it a fuzzy outline. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you go with the Memento ink pad, because this is gonna, it will work to some degree, and if this is all you've got, I wouldn't suggest using it, but if it's all you've got and that's all you have to use, then just be gentle with your pens. I wouldn't recommend it though. You pay a lot of money for these pens. I would not recommend you to ruin them with that. So you get a beautiful crisp line, no bleeding, no texture, no spotting, no nothing on there. So I just wanted to show you that. So if you are doing a bit of a shopping list for things you need to move forward with alcohol markers, Memento ink is the best one. So let's just get rid of that one. And let's just bring in some of our artwork. So I always pop some paper underneath whatever I'm colouring. And what happens when you put the paper underneath is it pulls the ink through so it doesn't pool on the top. If you're colouring an image on a glass mat, what will happen is the alcohol ink will sit on top of the surface and just puddle, and then you'll get a patch. What I suggest you do is put some paper underneath and it'll pull the ink through. It can just be a piece of copy of paper. You'll probably find that colourists have a stack of paper underneath. It pulls that ink through, stops it from puddling, and then you'll get the ink on the reverse. And that's the best way to get even coverage. Okay, so I know you're all excited about me colouring some hair, so that's what I'm going to do first. So as you can see, I've stamped her out. I've done it in the Memento ink pad, and I'm going to show you the 2-stage colouring. Now, I explained to you this morning that 3-stage colouring is just too difficult. It's off-putting. People don't like it. They worry about putting colours together. And then when they put the 3rd colour on and it doesn't quite match, it goes in the bin. And that's it. And then that's the end of the alcohol marker journey. So what I've done is, with these colours, I've built the colours so the shades are not massively different, so you shouldn't go far wrong. Okay, so that means we can ditch that 3rd colour. So you'll get instant light and shade with 2 pens, and I'm going to show you that exactly now. So I've written the colours that I'm going to use, and what I've done is I've picked a couple from the 6 collections, the 12 collections and the 60. So I should hit everybody's... who've made orders today, I should hit a bit of everything that everybody's ordered. So I'm going to go with the browns. Seems fitting for hair anyway, doesn't it? So I'm just going to take these out. And I've written 2 colours here. Now, I said to you this morning, didn't I, that you can go with 2 colours and it will work, and it truly will work. So BR91. So if you do get your colour chart, don't forget to pop the code on as well. So BR91, BR100. And then what will happen is when you come to colour hair, you'll find a colour that you like, and every hair piece that you do will be in the same colour, and that's fine. But make sure you make a note of what colour you use, because you'll be there for ages going, oh, what colour did I use? I'm really upset. So from this morning then, I'm going to use the brush nib on here. If you missed this morning's show, go back and watch it. I don't want to go over it all again. This is more about the demonstration side of things. If you want to watch what was going on and the collections and the colours and all the good stuff, then go back and watch the 11 o'clock show. It'll keep you entertained for an hour if nothing else. So let's do this bun here. I'm just going to get the camera to zoom in because I want you to have absolute clarity on what I'm going to colour. Just 1 second. And we'll start with the bun at the top. Now, a lot of you have already said to me, oh my God, I can't believe what you achieved last night just by using 2 pens. So I'm going to show you now how actually easy it is. Perfect, thank you. So I've written the codes here, so if you have bought them, you know, these are the colours that I used. So they're from the brown collection, the 6 collection. I'm just going to lean forward slightly. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the hairline and I'm just going to cover this bun. So I'm just going to start at the top. I'm just going to bring the colour down. I'm following those sketch lines up from the base here. I'm just doing a flicking motion. I'm going over the ink because I know it's not going to bleed. Down again. And I'm just filling all those white spaces. Like so. So there's our first colour. Now the key to alcohol markers are, they are alcohol based. You need to give them time to evaporate. They dry lighter. So, you know, have the confidence just to let it evaporate in front of your eyes, because that's what literally happens. It does evaporate in front of your eyes. So with the darker shade then, the BR91, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same technique I've just done, but I'm not going to cover the whole bun. I'm going to go from the top and a quarter down and from here and up, and I'm going to leave as if there's a light casting on the centre of a bun. So I'm going to come from the top down. And what I'll do is I'll do the whole of the top first so you can see the difference. You see that there? So we're already getting our light and shade, and then from the base up, as you can see, I'm not covering it all, I'm leaving that little gap in the middle. What about that then? And it's evaporated in front of me. There we go, she's got light and shade in her hair. Two pens. Now, there is no right or wrong. If you want to now go back over with your light colour all over it, you can. So I'll go back over. It looks darker, but you need to let the alcohol evaporate, and you will still get that lovely bright light patch in the centre of her hair. Give it a second. And you can just keep going and adding and playing with 2 pens and just enjoy. Now, it's like I've said to the girls on the design team, you know, there are really no right or wrong ways. It evaporates, it practically disappears, so you can layer build, you can go on top with the same 2 pens. Does that not look like real hair? So let's do the large part here then. I don't want to skip through the hair because I know a lot of you really do want to do hair. And a lot of you have been put off by hair in the past. So lighter colour again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover all of this white space in her hair here. Cover them gaps in there. Let's join her hair together. So she's got a bit of hair going on here. Now you can cover the whole of the black ink pad. Again, like I said, because we've used the correct ink pad, it really doesn't matter where we start, what we do. You can take it over the black at the front if you want to. I'm just doing like a feathering technique there. So let's just cover that bit in there as well, so there's no white spaces. There we go. So there's our light colour. And then our dark colour. So again, same concept, I'm going to follow the lines. So I'm going to start at the nape of the bun here, and I'm just going to bring the colour down. so that's the top down. Then from her hairline here, I'm just going to go up. But I'm not going all the way, I'm not covering that colour in the middle. Is this exciting you all at home? I hope so. And then if I wanted to, go back over with the light colour again. And it looks like when you put it on, you think, oh, I've ruined it, I've absolutely ruined it. No, give it the alcohol ink time to evaporate. And we have a lady that's got like chestnut colours in her hair. See that there? So that's two-stage colouring on hair. Realistic looks. If, however, you do, when you've done that, you're thinking, do you know what? I now have the confidence to go darker. Well, in that same collection, oh, that's a different collection, I won't do that to you. So in that same collection, let's see what other hair colours we've got in there. I could add any of these other hair colours. So this one is BR92. So now I've just done those in two colours, I've got the confidence to go in and add some more detail, and that's what will happen when you begin to use these pens. You start off at the two-stage colouring, you might stop at the two-stage colouring, but I would think that after time you'll then progress naturally, without even knowing about it, into a third pen. So I've just got the third pen here, and I'm just adding more dark feathering. And this is what I'm saying about the pen sets. I'm not even worried that I've just picked this pen out of there. I'm not worried about what it's going to look like. I know that these colours are going to work together. So let's pop a little bit of darkness in here, not too much. There we go. She's got a real highlight now, hasn't she? So that's it. That's hair. So simple. And that, ladies and gents, is from the brown collection, for a hair to be like that. So I hope you enjoyed that, because it is truly a fabulous technique, two-stage colouring, and you do get the most amazing shades. And I haven't even spent any time on that. I haven't like kept going and adding a little bit of light colour and adding a bit of dark and a bit of ginger. You know, I've just quickly shown you two-stage colouring on hair, and you get those results. Let's ditch that third pen until you get your confidence. As soon as you get your confidence, without even realising it, you'll be picking up a third pen and a fourth pen. But to start out, let's do our two-stage colouring. So that is the hair. Let's maybe look at some flowers. So let's set this lovely lady aside, and let's have a look at the poppies. Now, reds are the hardest colour to colour. They are the hardest. Ask me why, I have no idea. It's the hardest colour to make as well, apparently. So we've just used the set of 6 box. So now I'm going to use the florals in the set of 12. Okay. So let's have a look what we've got going on here. And R2 and R13. So 2 of the lovely red pens. Now in future, when I do studio, what I'm going to do is, when I'm using pens, I'm always going to write down on the paper what colours I've used. So even if I don't really talk about the colours I've used, it will be on the piece of paper for you, okay? So, like, you know, like the 1 minute 30, when they're sped up, you'll be able to see the number on the paper. So you're thinking, oh, I want to do that, and you can write down the colours that I've used, and you can take it away and do as you wish with it. So it's just a bit of a guide, is that one. So you can see there, light and dark. I always start with lightest colour. Is there a right or wrong way? Do you start with a light colour, dark colour? What do you do at home if you've already got alcohol markers? I always start with a light colour. And if you've got colouring techniques at home that work, I would say stick with them. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to colour this one, and then I'll colour this one. And I think, yeah, the R14 for this one is the orange. Now you won't really put... Well, you would, yeah, you'd get away with that. You won't really put them together, but do you know what? They're in this set, they work. I know they work. So let's just set the orange one aside for now. So I'm going to use my brush nib, and I can see from the pen there, there's my brush, so I'm good to go. So let's colour this like petal here that's got its backside to us. So you can colour in lines, circles. In the hair I just did the flicking, just up and down I followed the stamp lines. In here I'm just going to colour this whole thing in this in the R13. I'm just going to fill the whole. I always colour in circles. I'm not sure whether that's right or not. I just find it easier if I colour in circles. So take it right to the base of that petal, right up to that line. And this is what I was saying this morning about if you get a little white space, you know, you can turn your pen around and fill in with your bullet tip. There we go. So give it a chance to evaporate, get some circular motion on there or whatever you want to do. And then let's swap it out for the darker one. Now the indicators for your shading are in the stamp. I always create that in my stamps. I always make sure it's there for you. So even if I use another fabulous designer's work, I will always add the lines myself, so you know which way to put your colour or you know where to put your colour. So this is R2, and you see these spots here? I'm just going to flick up in the lines like so from the base there. I'm going to flick up here. There's a little bit of shade in there, a little bit here, a little bit here, here, and a little bit down here. Now you can add more. You can, you know, there are no rules. You do as you wish. So I'm going to go back over with my light colour. And I'm just going to bring it all together. What happens is when you go back over with your light colour, it blends with the shaded colour, the darker shade colour, but it doesn't make it disappear. And then when it evaporates, it all seems to work. It's amazing. So I'll just turn my artwork around here and let's do this bit. So again, all over with the light colour in circles. Now this one petal might be a little bit better just simply because, excuse me going over the lines, I have got a little bit of a shake going on. Must be nerves. Because it's got more lines in there, so this might be a little bit better for me to show you the shading. I'm just going to go over that. There we go. So I'm happy I've got that first layer of colour down. And then the lines there, just going to do exactly as we did with the hair earlier. I'm just going to flick out. And there would be a little shadow there. Turn your artwork around, don't break your wrist. And down. So this is just 2 pens, remember. So a little bit up there, a little bit there. Now you could use your bullet for the lines if you want to. Then back to our lightest colour. All over. And this blends it beautifully together. See that there? Beautiful shaded poppy. So with this one then, just want to show you that if you swap it out for an orange, it does look different. But because I'm going to use the same pens in the collection, I'm showing you that they just basically work. So we're going to use these two. Now these look pretty far apart, don't they? But they do work. So let's just do this petal at the back here. So I'm just going to do the orange. Like so, and we use the dark one. I'm just going to follow those lines again. So when you first put it on you, it's a little bit like, oh, maybe that's a little bit dark, but watch what happens. Follow those little lines. Maybe add a bit of a shadow there, because that petal would have cast a shadow there and here. And then go back over. Give the alcohol ink time to evaporate and you are literally good to go. So can you see what I mean with regards to the ink coming through? See there? So the ink has to escape. So you need to have something underneath to drink it out, because if you don't, what will happen is it will puddle and pool on top and you'll be moving the ink around forever. Then you'll probably get a pill in your card and it will just frustrate you. So pop a bit of copy paper underneath and then you are literally good to go. So those do look like beautiful coloured petals with 2 pens, but you know, like I said to you in the first one with the hair, as soon as you get your confidence with 2 pens, you will progress into a 3rd and 4th naturally, okay? It will just come naturally. But if you are brand new to it, try and stick with the 2-stage colouring that I've said and grow from there. So before I move on to the next demonstration, we're going to do some greens and some leaves. Here's a little bit more inspiration. Welcome back. So here I have a rose and some leaves. Now let's do some leaves first off. So I have the green bunch here and I'm going to go with the one that looks a little bit excuse me, luminous. We've got F123 and I'm going to go for GY175. Now look at those 2 colours. Because they are both from the same colour family, they're going to work, okay? So I'm going to go with my fluorescent one first, and I'm going to show you how to do a bright and breezy leaf. And then over the course of 3 or 4 leaves, I'm going to show you how to do a brown leaf, a grey leaf, a darker green, and like one that's quite bright. So again, I'm going to do the same technique as I just did with the poppy. And we'll go for this one here. I'm just going to lay the colour all over this leaf. Get some colour on there, quite simply all over. And then with this second colour, now you can go with your colouring from the edge of the leaf in or from the inside of the leaf out. Try it. If you don't like it, swap your technique. Inside out, outside in. And this one I'm going to go outside in, and I'm just going to brush this green from the outside in. You see that there? Then I'm going to go back to my lightest colour and just going to blend. Does that not look like a leaf with light and shade in there? Absolutely amazing, bright and breezy. So if you're wanting to do a summer tone leaf, then you can do that. So that's using the bright and breezy ones. So let's see what else we've got in here. Let's go for G40. Let's have a look. Let's go for the vivid one, G46, and let's go for the olivey one, Y42. Now, this is why it's a good opportunity for you to do your downloadable swatch. I mean, I'm just going off the cuff here. That's because I know the work, but as a beginner and you're starting out, it's good to refer back to your swatch. So I'm doing G45 first. Can we just zoom in on this one, please, just so I can see? Thank you. So I'm going to do G46 all over. So this is quite dark. Colour all of that leaf. You wouldn't do different coloured leaves like this on here. I'm just showing you the variation in colours within the collections. And then we have Y42. And what I'm going to do with this one is the same as I've just done with that one, but I'm going to start on the outside and bring it in. Now that looks super dark, doesn't it? But you've got to give it a chance to evaporate. So I'm going to stick with it. So outside in. And then with my colour that I originally started with, I'm going to go all over. Can we see the light and shade in there? So those two looked pretty similar when I first laid them down, but it has got light and shade in there. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm blown away every time I use these pens. So they're from the green collection. So what if we want to do a autumnal brownie colour? So let's go to our nature collection 12. And let's go with BR 97. And let's have a look what else we've got in here. YR 21. So can we see that there? You've got an orange and a brownie colour on there. So let's turn our artwork around and let's colour the whole leaf all over. So no technique involved. It's funny because you actually see the alcohol ink evaporating as you're colouring. It's mesmerising actually. And then the other colour, BR 97. I'm just going to colour from the outside in, just a little bit. And you can also do some from the inside out if you want to. And then if you go back over with the colour you started with, you look like you're destroying it when you pop it on, but you're not. Can we see that there? Got to give it a chance to evaporate, and it looks beautiful once it's evaporated. So those are the two colours from the nature collection. So I've absolutely got it all going on here. So from this collection as well, let's go with the greys, hey? So let's have a look what we've got going on. Let's go with blue. Let's create something different. So BG, BG5 and PB70. These two colours. Try these two. So the lightest colour first, all over. This is turning into a crazy set of leaves, but it's okay. So I'm going to colour all over, bearing in mind I've got my white paper underneath there. And swap it out on my darker colour. So let's just go inside out on this one rather than outside in, just to show you the difference. So you pop it on, look how dark that looks. You're thinking, oh my goodness me, I really have ruined it this time. And then you go back to your lightest colour, brush it all over. Give the ink opportunity to evaporate. I'm not sure if camera's picking that up. Can I have a nod if it is? So, I'm being told so. It's pretty dark, isn't it? So, but trust me, there is light and shade in those leaves. Let's move on to something a little bit bigger. You might be able to see it a little bit clearer in here, on this bigger one here. So let's just get rid of this set and let's go. We haven't used our big set yet. So let's go with the big set. So I'm using a set of 60 here and I'm going to go, let's do a pink rose. We've done red, haven't we, orange. So let's do a pink. So let's go with a really light pink, RP9. And let's go with a couple of shades darker, RP89. See that there? So this is a bit of a bigger image. Would it help if we zoomed in a little bit more? Maybe? I don't know if we're losing light. I'm not sure why. It looks a little bit dark to me. I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but I'm sure you'll let me know, guys. There we go. Thank you. So I'm going to do this big one here so you can really get in and understand what I'm trying to show you. So I'm going to be using the light colour first, RP9, and this is from the 60 set. So in fact, let's do this one here because this is closest to me. So I'm going to colour the whole petal. I'm going to do my circle motions. If you're getting your colours and you haven't done a colour swatch, guys, you know, you've got your piece of scrap paper here, do a swatch. Pop a bit on the side, add the next colour and see if it works. Don't go straight to your artwork, okay? Do a swatch at the side. So then we'll use RP89. This is a darker pink. So when you pop this on, can we see how it looks quite vibrant there? So I'm going to follow my lines. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than my lines on there. I'm going to have the confidence to add the shading a little bit darker than the artwork suggests. Like so, can we see that there? And then I'm going to go back over with the light one, and this will tie it all together beautifully. When you pop it on and you add your circular motion, you get a beautiful shaded petal. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can go back in and add more depth once you've got the courage to do so. You could maybe add a bit of shading yourself from the outside in. At the end of the day, it's a piece of card, okay? We're not born artists. You've got to play, understand, see which colours you want to do, see what colours you like. So I'm going to have the courage now to go one step further. So with regards to, let's see how dark this one is. So this one is at RP6. So you can see that's a little bit darker. Shall we try this one? So where I've just done that shade, now I'm going to step into a darker shade. See if I can just cast that shadow a little bit more. You can see it's coming together now. And this is where you will grow. You will probably start off doing loads of layers because you didn't do it any darker. And then you will end up with a colour that you love. Just let that evaporate. So can we see that there? Now don't be scared to step out the purple bracket as well. So in the 60 collection, you've got a whole host of colours. You could just try all of them really. I'll just bring it in shot. I mean, look at all the pinks in there, absolutely loads. You could go to town. What's this one? Purple. Actually, it's an azalea purple. Look at that. See how dark that is? I'm going to go for it though because I really want you to see that it works. Is that better? Is it showing it a little bit better? Yeah, so that took 4 pens to get to you be able to see it, but I could see the light and shade from the first stage. So it's going to be a case of building, if you want to build and grow as a colourist, because it's going to take time, guys. They are daunting, they are a little bit nerve-wracking, but they are truly fabulous. And with the 2-stage colouring, I don't think you can really go that wrong. So whilst I've shown you these lovely few things, so I've got the poppies, these, this and this, the hair, what I wanted to show you quickly was that if you have the courage, so I have stamped this one out from our collection, if you have the courage to go wild and not put 2 colours together that work, you can create some really unique looking cards. So I'm just going to go with the 60 set because it's at the side of me, but I'm going to go absolutely crazy. So when I say crazy, I'm just going to go like a green. You would not put a green with an orange, would you? Never in a month Sundays, but you know, because the blend you can go crazy with colour. See that there? So what I'm going to do is, let's do this leaf here. Okay, so we'll start with our orange, and I'm going to fill in these spaces here. I'm just going to go quickly, we're running out of time. So I'm going to start from the centre out. So I've got our lovely orange on there. And then when you get your green, which you would never put together, and you see here where these shadows are, just going to flick it out, look. See that there? So creating a bit of a tropical card or something. Do that line straight up the centre there, look, bring it together. See that there? So they are just two absolute random colours you would not put together. I'll do it one more time on, let's go with this one and let's go with this one. Two completely different colours. It's fabulous. It's such fun, and you'll have so much fun just enjoying them. I sent my design team some more today to really get the teeth stuck in, and I really do want them to learn them and enjoy them. It will elevate the crafting as well, so I've sent them some and they've all been playing today. I think that's why they're all really quiet. No one's talking to me today, although I have had a few sneaky peeks at what they've been doing, which is fab. So that's yellow, and that is Y35, and then this one is BG57, which is another green. Let's know I've just done green. I need to swap. We'll swap it out for, let's go with this one, coral red. And we'll just do this out, straight out from the centre. So don't be, I've shown you lots of techniques this afternoon and how to get colour matches and feathering and things like that. What I'm showing you right now is freestyle. Pick up the colours and play with them, because you are never going to know what works, what doesn't work. What did I say I had earlier? Was that a yellow? I can't remember now. Was it this one? Nope. Anyway, I would have gone back over that, but you can see how experimenting with colours, you can get some really different looking cards. So I'm going to close the end of today's demonstrations, and I hope I've helped in some way. You can message me, as you all know. Thank you so much for tuning in to both shows. I hope you have picked up some inspiration that's going to help you in your alcohol marker colouring journey. Excuse me. I am back with you tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and then tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to make some cards. So we're going to get all our stamps out, all our alcohol markers, and we're going to combine the two and show you what types of cards you can make. So I am live tomorrow at 11 o'clock for about an hour, and then in the afternoon Claire is with you from 3 o'clock, so you've got a lovely day as well tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the products. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you. I hope I've helped in any way at all. But whatever you're doing, have a great evening. Stay safe, stay cosy as always. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye.